Welcome back, boys and gals. It is Jujutsu Kaisen day, and I did a recording of this like the whole 10 minutes. My mic was off. Dang, I felt real bad because I thought that was juicy. I don't know, sometimes you guys don't be watching my like juicy episodes, episode reviews slash discussions, but the last one definitely was. Hopefully, make this one a banger too. Anyways, Jujutsu Kaisen day. This one, not gonna lie, a little slow. Hopefully, it's for the build up. I was really psyched for the build up when they had it for Hanami, but it didn't seem like it amounted to too much. I mean, okay, it was kind of epic seeing Gojo go after and do his thing, but like I need more, like consecutively, episode after episode. This is the type of stuff I'm yearning for. But maybe that's just like a Dragon Ball only sort of thing, where like literally every other episode. Anyways, I went on a rant. Episode starts off with Fushiguro and his team. Should I just call it Itadori's team? I feel like Fushiguro is fine to say, because it seems like he's sort of, low key that the other main character, especially with a lot of times the references to him. It's like, right? Like a lot of the cursed spirits seem to know that the demon inside of Itadori just sort of understands that there's a trigger. That trigger, from what we can tell, it just might be Fushiguro. This happens on a few situations. So, gosh, I'm going on tangent after tangent. Anyways, they're riding to some place to exercise some spirit, and for whatever reason, they are pretty much unaccompanied for what seems to be like a regular mediocre spirit. I'm like, okay, why this spirit? Like, what makes this spirit so interesting that it requires these three to do that? It seems kind of like a lame spirit, to be honest. But then, after we did some investigation with the school, which is also the school that Fushiguro went to, so maybe this is perhaps the reason why Fushiguro becomes such a pinnacle point to this episode, because this is his high school, and apparently Fushiguro, which I have to say is kind of weird though, to be honest. Like, he was like the badass at his school. Like, he was the bully. Everyone's got beat up by him apparently, which I did not see coming. Maybe it's just like the black he's wearing. Like, he's not very much like brutish. To me, he seems very much like stand back and sort of like waiting for something else to happen and sort of stand by sort of situation, because he's just like wearing all black. He doesn't like to be talking too much. You don't see him talking too much, and it's like, how is that type of dude just like bullying people in high school? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a different like cultural thing, but Fushiguro definitely not the type to, in my point of view, from what it seems what I've seen of him, definitely not the type to bully too many people. But apparently he did. Apparently this guy was a complete badass. Anyways, we talk with more of his classmates, and we understand that there's something running amok around here, and it might have something to do with the local bridge nearby. I'm like, okay, what would a bridge? Why would we need a bridge? Like, okay, wait. People could probably jump off of bridges. I'm like, okay, I guess that would be a easy way to start accruing spiritual energy, because people just like suiciding off of like bad grades and stuff like that. Which is understandable too, because like they have like those suicide forests and everything. So I was like, okay, maybe that's interesting. And then we go and check it out, aka the team, Fujiro's team, Itadori, Megumi. They go and check it out. Wait, is it Megumi? No, Fujiro is Megumi. I mean, Nobara. Okay. God, when's her arc coming? Can we talk about that? Anyways, they go and check out the bridge, and they didn't really seem to see too much. And oddly enough, apparently they even went bungee jumping to test the idea that maybe perhaps there's people like jumping off the bridge that was causing these weird spiritual things to happen. I'm like, okay, and Itadori just did it. Like, I don't know. This is a little crazy. Itadori is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. They didn't really find anything until later. It was announced that, aka your boy, the one and only Fushiguro, actually went and checked out himself. And what do you know? Seems like some weird domain expansion thing going on that was all like half made and sort of just like not really well done. Where it's like you need to enter it in a way that you know it's there, but also knowing that like it's a domain, which is actually just, did I even say that right? I don't know. Which is actually just them going under the bridge and walking into like this other spirits, cursed spirits domain. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. It was kind of just like an invisible force field under the bridge, and I was like, that's interesting. That's cool. And it's like, how long has this thing been lurking here? Because this thing looks huge. Is it just like a domain with multiple spirits inside of it? Because there's like multiple things coming at the team when Fushiguro, Nobara, and Itadori went in there. I'm like, wait a minute. It's just literally just like cockroaches running the floorboard. Like these things just like flooding them. English is hard. They're literally like flooding Itadori's team, and I'm like, what the heck? All this commotion under this bridge, and you couldn't really see it until like you actually went closer to the actual like domain part. I'm like, dang, these. But also, it's like, are these spirits really going to amount to much, or is there a deeper reasoning to why these spirits are here? Because essentially, the whole point of this episode was explaining that there's some spirits nearby, and apparently, these the tenants were having trouble with certain things, and they wouldn't. It wouldn't. The electrical um, utilities would not work. So the spirit, for whatever reason, was like, fucking with them, and this is the spirit that was fucking with them, and hopefully we'll see a fight next episode. And that was basically it. There was one smaller episode, or not one smaller episode. There was one smaller part, which might be actually more important than majority of this episode, which I'm hoping it might lead to something in the next episode with how how it might I don't know, meet up or intersect with this current episode in regards to them finding the spirit. Is that we actually ended up did seeing someone eat Sukino's fingers, and they were being fed by, I forgot that spirit's name, the patchwork spirit, curse spirit. He was actually feeding the Sukino's fingers to this guy, the random guy, and I'm wondering if they're going to try to make this curse spirit, the news curse spirit they made, to Fushiguro's team. And also, yeah. So that it seems like that might be the case. Otherwise, it's like, what's happening here? That's pretty cool. Which also reminds me, another note onto why Fushiguro might just be the secondary, aka other main character, is because there's been literally so many times where someone will mention Sukuna, and Sukuna, they'll mention like a trigger. I'm like, okay, maybe Sukuna. This especially happened when Itadori was fighting the Patchwork Spirit. Was like, oh, I can't put Itadori in a domain expansion because Sukuna will hurt me or something like that, right? And then they also noted that Sukuna has some triggers if you mess with someone around him, and the trigger was more specifically, it seemed like there were a few references to it being Fushiguro, and I was like, oh, maybe whatever Sukuna sees in Fushiguro, we'll see soon, which is what I'm hoping for personally, because I want to know what's so darn special about him. It seems just to be like this dude that can summon spirits. I guess is that what would you call him? Shinigami, maybe. I don't remember the translation for it is, but they're definitely different than curse spirits, or maybe they're curse spirits just he's able to summon. And like, what kind of dark latent power does this dude have? Like, what does Sukuna see in him? Because if that's Sukuna's trigger and we only see him a few instances, I wonder if one of these instances will trigger anytime soon and cause Sukuna to break out. Because we do know that the Patrick spirit has some of the Sukuna's fingers, and perhaps this is where Sukuna gets more of his body back. Who knows? Because we haven't gotten a bite in a while. Like, Itadori hasn't had a snack in a while, if you know what I mean. Hasn't had a finger in a while. But whatever. We might see it in the next episode. I'm hoping we see the next episode, but if we don't see the next episode, it's gonna be the episode after that. Hopefully episode after that. Anyways, that was basically the episode. Yeah, it was kind of just like a slow episode, to be honest, but that's fine. Not everything has to be super crazy action packed, but if it was, I'm not hating. That if we got like a Dragon Ball Z type Hanami versus Itadori x Todo episode every day, I would not be mad at all. But it's been a little slow lately. Maybe I'm like a super action junkie. Maybe that's what it is. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. See you guys later, and peace out.